Hey folks, welcome. Welcome. We're gonna talk some football. I just created this live stream about 20 minutes ago. Hope it gives some folks a chance to get in here. Wouldn't mind some comments maybe while I'm doing my picks. Argue some football with me. Um, so we'll just kind of talk for a few minutes. See if anybody pops their head in here. If not, I'll just go ahead and start working my way through the games, and then we'll just leave this up as a regular video. So while we're waiting just a minute or two before we hit these games, I will talk about one story that has been kind of big the last couple of days, and that is Skip Bayless getting on Dak Prescott of the Cowboys for admitting that he goes through depression. I just think that's terrible. It's 2020. Come on, man. It's beyond time for people to have to submerge their feelings all the time in our society. I'm glad he came out and said that he was battling depression, because, a lot of people look to him and think, all right, he's starting quarterback for the Cowboys. He's got everything going on in the world for him. But, that isn't always the case. And if he can go through depression, then maybe somebody else who's going through depression will hear what he says and decide, if he can admit it, maybe I can talk to somebody about it. And if he can get through it, maybe I can find a way to get through it. And that's what you hope for. I just can't believe that I heard Skip Bayless saying that he needed to keep it to himself. That just, of course, Skip Bayless is one of the most he's just one of the most annoying people on TV. I can't stand it. It seems like any time that I'm watching a segment of Undisputed and Shannon Sharp's trying to talk, there's Skip Bayless. I'm like, shut up, Skip. Just zip it. Nobody wants to hear you going, Let the man complete a thought on his own. Okay, so again, I'm kind of new to the whole live stream thing. I can't tell if there's anyone in here yet or not. Let me pull up YouTube and see. Okay, so there doesn't appear to be anybody in the room. Okay, so we're almost 5 minutes in. I'm going to go ahead and start working my way down through these games. And if you come in on this, well, if you come in, leave me a comment. Let me know you're here, and we can talk about these games a little bit. So, all right. So week one, we kicked off last night with the Texans at the Chiefs, and actually it was night before last, and I correctly picked that game. I had the Chiefs winning. I went ahead and put that on Facebook, and I didn't have much question about that game. I figured at home the Chiefs would definitely rise to the occasion. I figured that the Texans are a dangerous team. You can't sleep on them, that's for sure. But I just felt like the Chiefs had too much going on. And how about that new running back, Edwards Alaire? I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He looks like he's going to be the real deal. So Kansas City, man, they look super tough right now. I would almost have to think that they are the number one contender to, or number one odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, so let's get started on Sunday's games. So the first game that I've got listed here is the Jets at the Bills. This could be a decent game. I don't know. The Bills have an awfully stout defense. They did last year. Some of the games that they played on defense were really impressive. I remember watching highlights of one of the Bills Patriots games, and man, that Bills defense just doesn't give anything up. And I'm still not a believer in their in Allen, their quarterback, but I'm not a real believer in Darnold either yet. I want to see. Darnold looks like he will be good, but it's just with the Jets. It's just I'm a Dolphins fan. I know what it's like to root for a Adam Gase coach football team, and I'm not sad he's gone. And I think the Jets will be probably kicking him to the curb at the end of this year. I just don't think he's head coach material. And so, having said all that, I do think the Bills at home will win this ball game. Game 2, Packers at Vikings. Man, this could be we're getting right off the blocks into to what could turn out to be a slobber knocker here. Packers, they struggled. They needed more. They have to get more weapons around Aaron Rodgers in order for him to be successful. And so have they done that? Have they gotten him some more weapons? That Vikings defense is tough as nails. And it looks like Devin Cook gives them a good running option, and Kirk Cousins, man, it all depends. It all depends with him. Not convinced. I'm not. I wouldn't have the confidence in him that I would in Aaron Rodgers, but still. This game's in Minnesota. And then the Vikings. If they weren't tough enough on defense, then they added Yannick Ngakoue. I hope I'm saying his name right. Man, what an exciting player. So, yeah, I'm picking the Vikings in the second game against the Packers. I just don't see the Vikings or the Packers being able to hang with the Vikings in Minnesota. Not yet. So game 3 is the Eagles and the Washington Reds. Ooh. I almost slipped up there. All right, so the third game is the Eagles playing the Washington football team. And this one's in Washington. It'll be interesting to see what kind of reception that the Washington football team gets. But the Eagles are a tough team. They kind of fell on hard times last year, but they look like they could. They're still a formidable team. Where's Washington? I don't know. I just don't know about that. That they've got the pieces together. I do like the addition of Chase Young. I think he's probably going to be one of the most exciting rookies this year. Of course, I have an affinity for those edge rushers. I like to watch them play. Jason Taylor and Cameron Wake kind of spoiled me on that kind of play in Miami. So I'm interested in seeing how Chase Young does, but I'm going with the Eagles. I just think Carson Wentz is a little more. He's just a little more solid as a quarterback, and I just think overall the Eagles are a little bit farther along in their development than the Washington football team. All right, next game is Browns at Ravens. Yeah, there was no hesitation. Ravens all the way. I don't know what it is that you look at the Browns and they've got all these exciting pieces to the puzzle, but they just don't seem to fit together. With man, blank on the quarterback's name, the young kid. He's got to step up. He's got to step up. If you've got Odell Beckham Jr. and you've got Jarvis Landry as your wideouts, Chubb at running back. Man, you've got weapons, so you've got to exploit them. And so Baker Mayfield needs to step up. Now, Lamar Jackson, I think the Ravens are probably the biggest threat to the Chiefs' throne. Hey, Dan, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, you just missed me picking that game. Uh, I hope you still like me afterwards. Anyway, like I was saying about the Ravens, I really think they're they're the biggest threat to the Chiefs' throne. Lamar Jackson. Now, historically, I have never cared for running quarterbacks. I just don't. I think one, if your quarterback's thinking about running first, then he's not progressing as a passer, and you have to have somebody under center in the NFL who can consistently convert second and third passing attempts. And some of the running quarterbacks, we have not gotten to the Bears and Lions. Hang on, and I'll do that game next for you. But historically, like Vic had a big arm, but every pass that came off his big arm looked the same. There was no touch. And what I see in Lamar Jackson, he improved nearly 10% on his completion percentage from his rookie to his sophomore year. So if he does that again this year, I don't know that he could, because he'd be completing somewhere in the mid 70 on passes. But as long as he's progressing as a passer, then to me that makes him the most dangerous quarterback that has running in his arsenal out there. So, yeah, so I took the Ravens over the Browns. I don't think there's any question that the Ravens are farther along. To me, they are the number one contender to the Chiefs' throne. All right, so Dan's here, and he's asking about the Bears or the Lions. So let me make a little note where I stopped there, and I'll scoot down to the Bears and Lions. We'll talk about that game a little bit. So we got, these both of these teams, man, their fan base. It has to be halfway crazy. And I know we've got Lions and Bears fans in the vinyl community where I make most of my videos. Steve, Value Vinyl Steve, is a Lions fan. And, oh, shoot, I'm blanking on the Bears fan's name right off the top of my head. But, yeah, the Bears, great defense, but inconsistent quarterback. Against the Lions in Detroit against a Matt Stafford run offense. Yeah, I'm going Lions. I like Matt Stafford. I think he's tough. I think he's an underrated passer. Yeah, I mean, Dan, you could be right about the Bears. When they play defense and they just get good offense, not necessarily really prolific offense. They just get good offense. So they're a dangerous team, but the problem is that quarterback spot. What are they doing? Why do they sit pat with the quarterbacks that they normally do? Because I just don't see Trubisky being the answer. And, he can win games. He can win some games. Yeah. Stafford to me is a solid quarterback. On a better team, he might even be championship quality. I mean, he's a tough kid and he can pass, but unfortunately, Detroit doesn't surround him with that great a talent, and that's got to be frustrating to have that much talent at quarterback. I mean, that's, to me, quarterback's the hardest piece of the puzzle. You got a quarterback, you ought to surround them with some more talent. Oh, you go to live games? Yeah. That's going to be the weirdest part of this weekend, is watching these games and no fans in the stands. But that's football in the COVID age. I just don't. It's amazing to me that they're not having more breakouts than what they are. I don't know how they managed to negotiate to keep from having breakouts. I guess we'll see as the season goes along. I figured that the NBA would be the only league that could really do this properly by playing in a bubble. But I don't know. Baseball seems to be doing pretty well too. So I guess it's just time will tell, and we'll see just how stringent their protocols are and how successful. Aretha, if you hear scratching, that's this knucklehead. Please don't. All right. Let me pick another game. We got the Bears, Colts, Jaguars. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, Dan? I kind of I didn't even mark that one. But I know who I picked. So I think it'll be an interesting game. Colts, Jaguars. Not so interesting that I want to see it in this. Being in Kentucky, I'm in the Colts market. I'm not so interested I want to see it, but still, watching Phillip Rivers quarterback the Colts should be interesting. See how well he does without the Charger teams that he knows so well. Going up against the legend of the mustache, Gardner Minshew, who was surprisingly good last year, and gotta love that Fu Manchu. Oh, I picked the Colts, even though it's in Jacksonville. I just think the Colts are a better team. As long as Rivers doesn't go crazy throwing interceptions, and hopefully he won't, then they've got a good chance, I think, to win that ball game. Next game I've got on my list is Raiders and Panthers. Yeah, so in that game, I kind of went back and forth. I started to pick the Panthers, and then I switched to the Raiders. Then I switched back to the Panthers. And I just feel like this is where the upset may come. I'm not convinced that the Raiders should win. You would think that the Raiders would win because they're, Gruden's been there a while now. He should be really starting to make his presence known in the culture and the game planning of the Raiders, starting to get his guys in place. Whereas the Panthers are coming from having lost Cam Newton, but they put in Teddy Bridgewater, who did awfully well with the Saints last year. Panthers are kind of young. I may regret that pick. That may be the one that I regret, but I did pick the Panthers over the Raiders. Let's see. We did Bears-Lions. Seahawks Falcons is next on my list. Yeah, it didn't take me too long to pick that game. Seahawks are a solid team. Russell Wilson's elite quarterback. Matt Ryan is too. I think Matt Ryan's a really good quarterback, but it doesn't seem like they have the pieces around him that Seattle does. So, I had to go with the Seahawks. Now here's the one people would probably wonder, knowing that's me picking. Dolphins Patriots is next on my list. Okay, well, let's look at the Patriots for a minute. They lost Shady Brady. Shady took his football deflating self down to Tampa, but they picked up Cam Newton, capable athlete. I don't know that I'm big on Cam. He seems to be a little bit of a head case. I don't know that you really want that at quarterback. Patriots lost a lot of players. Dolphins picked up a lot of players, including Kyle Van Noy at linebacker, who was playing for the Patriots. I'm picking my Dolphins. Dolphins over the Patriots. Write it down. I'm calling it. We're going to beat them. And I don't care that's in New England. We got this. Our defense is going to surprise some people, maybe right off the get-go. That's the only thing that worries me about this game, is that we have so many new pieces. We really reloaded that team this year. And I don't know if we've got it all together. And now I'm confident that we can get there quick, because you watch Flores last year. They traded almost everybody that was any good away. Took a bare bones team and even then they had some injury troubles, and he still pulled that team together from the team that got wiped off the football field against the Ravens in the home opener, to the team that won a bunch in their second half of the season and finished with 5 wins, which I don't think anybody thought they would win one game. And so now I'm excited to see what he does with some real talent. And I looked, and a lot of people are picking the Patriots tomorrow, but I'm sticking with my Dolphins. All right, my light just went out. I got to work on my lights. I don't think. Oh, maybe the timer just went off. Let's see here. Chargers and Bengals. Who cares? It's the Bengals. I don't know. I think this is not. These are two teams that aren't anywhere close to being ready for really competitive football. I'm not real crazy about Tyrod Taylor, former Bill. He'll be quarterbacking the Chargers. Burrow is, as far as I know, Burrow is starting for the Bengals. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You got to get the guy some experience. I'm just saying that I wouldn't expect a win. So I picked the Chargers, even though it's in Cincinnati. I just think that they got a little bit more of a football team than the Bengals. And though I think it could be an ugly game, bad quarterbacking could resemble what was it, the USFL from a year ago or so, when they were part of the problem with that league was that the quarterbacking was so bad that it was hard to watch. Cardinals at 49ers. Come on. 49ers. Cardinals got a lot of potential, but 49ers are already there. They're good on both sides of the ball. 49ers. Then we're looking at Saints or Buccaneers at Saints, which I think could be one of the most interesting games to watch tomorrow. I forgot to look to see if that's the doubleheader game here. But you're talking about Tom Brady versus Drew Brees. That's marquee matchup. Any way you cut it. Buccaneers have a lot of weapons, but I just think, man, it's hard to think they're going to do much because I've seen it a lot over the course of 25 years. Or no, it's more than 25 years. 45 years? How long have I been a football fan? 75? Yeah, I've seen a lot of guys move to teams late in their careers, and it rarely pans out. I can't remember too many examples of players that made a huge impact somewhere, then went to another team. It's usually like something sad, like Joe Namath in a Rams uniform or Franco Harris in a Seattle Seahawks uniform. Seemed to me that O.J. Simpson ended up in a 49ers uniform at the end of his career. I don't know. Tom may surprise us. Gronkowski, he's young enough to bounce back and be a force, but will he? He's had a whole year off, hasn't he? I don't know. I'm going with the Saints. I think the Saints are one of the most dangerous teams in the NFC West. I kind of thought they would go to the Super Bowl last year. I'm not counting, Drew Brees hasn't shown much of a decline yet, though he's getting up there in age too. I just like the Saints. Got the Sunday night football. We got Cowboys and the Rams. I picked the Cowboys. Hard to see. The Rams had such an off season last year, and it's hard to really kind of figure out why. Is Goff has got to pull it together. He regressed last year, and he can't keep doing that and have the Rams be successful. He's got to step up. And then the Cowboys, they're really set on offense, but the question would be their defense. And But looking at the Rams again, you've got Goff that didn't play real well last year, and Todd Gurley's gone, so we'll see what the Rams can put up offensively. But they've got to improve if they're going to beat the Cowboys. So we got two games on Monday night. Steelers at the Giants. I've got the Steelers, even though I like Saquon Barkley. I think the kid playing Jones, playing quarterback for the Giants, it's got potential, but I haven't seen that fully realized yet. Steelers back with Roethlisberger, who I don't particularly like, but he does have a lot of success there. Yeah, so I'm going with the Steelers there, and then Titans at the Broncos. I'm picking the Titans. Titans were tough last year. Tannehill, if he can stay healthy, Titans would be dangerous. Broncos, they got the kid Andrew Luck. Is that Locke's first name, Andrew? Or am I thinking Andrew Luck? I can't remember. Luck, or is it Drew Lock? Hey, Aaron. You think the Chargers D is that good this year? I did pick them against the Bengals. I just wasn't real. I'm not. I'll admit I'm not that sold on Tyrod Taylor. What are your impressions on Taylor? How's he been playing for you guys? I saw a highlight clip that showed him missing a little bit. He's got some wideouts. Y'all got wideouts, that's for sure. And Aaron Eckler could be a difference maker, but to me, Tyrod Taylor is the biggest question mark on your all's team. And do you think Tyrod Taylor's going to start very many games before they go to the rookie? Herbert, I think that's his name. Maybe Aaron's gone. Maybe I'm the only one here. All right. So as I've finished my thoughts on the Titans and Broncos, yeah, I think the Broncos have had a good defense. Don't know. I think they're being too complacent. They should have been after a big time quarterback after Manning left, because they just they're letting the window close. All right. So those are my picks. All right, Aaron, do you think Tyrod will be better than expected? Well, I would hope so. How much of a leash do you think he has before they put Herbert in? What's his name? Jason Herbert? I have been so focused on learning Tua Tagovailoa. All right. Tua Tagovailoa. All right. I can't even say our quarterback's name yet. So I have failed to learn some of the new other rookies, their names. Justin. Yeah. What are your thoughts on him? Is he going to be is he going to be a big player for you guys as Rivers and Breeze before him? I really did not. I'm not a big college guy. Oh, Chargers are a playoff team. All right, I'm going to make a note of that. Aaron says Chargers in the playoffs. Can you all take the Chiefs? Because I noticed you didn't say division winner. Now I'm trying to start something because I don't think you guys can quite handle the Chiefs quite yet. I don't. Of course, to be fair, I don't think anybody can handle the Chiefs right now. I think that yeah, the Chiefs looked so good the other night. Unless they get snake bit with injuries, that it's going to come down to the Chiefs and Ravens in the AFC. I got a feeling. But now if the Chargers just make the playoffs, I think that's something to hang your hat on because I'm not sure there's a lot of people expecting that. Though looking at the rest of the division, I think Chargers are clearly better than the Raiders and the Broncos. But the Chargers defense will give the Chiefs problems. Well, that's good. Can't remember how you all did stacked up head to head against the Chiefs last year. Were you all able to beat them? Man, I think my allergies are getting ready to blow up or something. I've been cleaning a lot around here, and the dust in this apartment is something else. We can't let that happen. Gotta be able to. I can't be taking sinus medicines tomorrow when there's all kinds of games to be watched. I am a little disappointed. I did see that. Yeah, I was a little disappointed. I'm in Kentucky, so I was hoping maybe Dolphins Patriots that might be a big enough game to get us on TV, but we're getting Browns Ravens instead on the AFC channel, and well, what have the Ravens got? Oh yeah, just a most valuable player in the National Football League in Lamar Jackson. That's all they've got. uh, I'm hoping we knock him on his backside as much as possible tomorrow. Sequoia Flame. Oh, well, I'm jealous. I wish I was going to be able to see that game, unless I find some other way of finding a way to stream it other than because yeah, I know we've got the Ravens Browns, and I'm not particularly excited about watching the Browns get their brains beat in. So Sequoia Flame, are you a Patriots fan? Hey, Aaron, thanks for stopping in, buddy. It's good to see you, and good luck in the drawing. I'm really trying to do that on Monday for the contest. Waiting for yeah. I just want them to do it right, but I trust Coach Flores. You know, I had a lot of questions about the process uh, with the way they were doing things, but to watch that team progress last year and watch them go up to New England and hand them a loss when nobody thought they could do that, and watch them get 5 wins when after the first month I just really didn't think we were going to win anything at all. Um, yeah, I trust. I've gotten into the mindset now. I'm just going to trust Coach Flo. He'll get the job done. I really have faith that this guy is the coach that we've needed, um, that we've been looking for. Now I hope Tua is the quarterback that we hope he could be. I've been a Dolphin fan since 1975. So when I started rooting for the Dolphins, Bob Greasy was there, Hall of Famer. And then we had 2 years with Woodstock and then Marino. And so I got spoiled for the first, 25 years that I watched the Dolphins. I got really spoiled with quarterback play. So waiting for a guy that's got as much potential as Tua has, um, man, I'm just hoping this kid uh, catches fire when he does come in. But I admire Fitzpatrick as well. I didn't think much. People were asking me last year. They said, "Well, what do you think about Fitzpatrick?" And I thought, well, he's just the guy that's holding the. It's going to be quarterback while we're rebuilding. But he even though he's not the most consistent quarterback, he just seems to be like a leader of men. And I think that he brought a toughness and a leadership to that Dolphin team last year that I was real, as a Dolphin fan, I was real thankful for. Uh, so that was a weird year though. Thinking we want to tank for Tua, but at the same time, it was hard. It was impossible to sit there and watch the Dolphins play on TV and not want them to win. And so, 5 wins wasn't a great season, but considering everything they went through last year and how much talent they cut loose to get 5 wins out of that squad, that was a heck of a job Flores did. So, I'm curious though. Did Cam Newton play at a college that you root for? Because I'm trying to think, where did he play college? Cam Newton. I can't remember. Of course, I'm not the biggest college guy. I'm definitely more of an NFL type fan. I'm in Kentucky, so I keep up with the Wildcats and the Cardinals because I grew up close to the Wildcats. Are my number one team, but then I live like a couple blocks off U of L's campus, so I'm. And then we've had a lot of good Cardinal players play for the Dolphins. So Cam Newton College. He was in Auburn. Yep, Auburn. Just like his play. Well, that's fair enough. There certainly have been some football players around the league that I have admired greatly, even though they don't play for my Dolphins. Kind of like the way Mahomes plays now. You know, the only non-Dolphin jersey I have in my closet, though, is I've got an old Reggie White Packers jersey. But I liked him a lot. Brett Favre, Walter Payton, Barry Sanders. So there are a lot of guys I like around the league. Well, that's cool. He is such a large quarterback. He is a load to handle. But tomorrow, I'm not really looking for him to have a big. I'm hoping he doesn't have a big game. I hope he doesn't eat us up. I'm hoping guys like Kyle Van Noy, who we got from the Patriots, will have big games. Kyle Murray, yeah, he certainly looks like the real deal. And with Drake running behind him, Drake is so fast. If he can just be a little more consistent, Cardinals could be dangerous on offense. But I don't expect them. I did not pick them to win this weekend, though. I think the 49ers are a little bit too much right now. Oh, but I can't get behind. I can't get behind Brady. The Bucks have always. I've not minded them. Brady, between Brady and Belichick, I got no tolerance for those guys. But I think at some point, Father Time's going to catch up to Brady. But I don't know. He's been putting it off. Got to take your hat off to him. I mean, he's kept himself in good shape, and he's playing. He's playing pretty good for his age, but I don't know. Last year, it just seemed like throws that he used to make, he can't make anymore. And so time will only tell whether or not he can do that with the Bucks. Yeah, and breathing real heavy down his neck. He's like I said, you got to take your hat off to anybody who can remain in that great a shape. Of course, we are seeing some older quarterbacks. Breeze is getting up there too, and he doesn't look like he's lost much. Now, what about Jacksonville? I don't mind them so much. I kind of like that Gardner Minshew. Power of that Fu Manchu. But I don't know. The Bucks or the Jaguars losing Fournette and then letting that big pass rusher I wrote his name down, but I always mess it up. Yannick Ngakwe. Uh, he's a great player, and I expect him to have a big year in Minnesota. I Jaguars got to be kicking themselves for letting him get away. Well, I think I may go ahead and wrap this up. Sequoia Flame. Are you a member of the vinyl community where, that's usually where the type of videos I make, or did you just stumble across this live stream and you're still here with me? Look like we got a couple people in here. Just kind of curious. Still trying to figure out how all of this algorithms and all that. Okay. Well, I do plan on doing more of these live streams. I don't know what time I'll eventually settle on, but if y'all help me get the word out, we can. What I'd like to do eventually is even get maybe a few more people in here. I think this program will allow me to have other people streaming in with me. Maybe keep the conversation a little more lively. And I just figured out how to live stream today, and but I'm hoping to pick things up a little bit. Try to get more people knowing that there's going to be some of this on here. I know there are some people in the vinyl community that like their sports, so I think there's some. And maybe I can pull in some people who wouldn't watch my video or my vinyl videos. So anyway, I appreciate everyone being in here tonight. That was in here, and I'm definitely going to try to keep working on this to make the live streams a little more fun. But I think for tonight, I'm going to wrap it up, and I will see you all soon. Hope you all have a great day. Hope you have a great day watching football tomorrow. And yeah, don't forget, and if you want to get in on my contest, you got till midnight tomorrow night for the CDs that I'm giving away. There are videos up that'll explain how to do that. And until later, have a good night, folks.